Economic growth, economic development. Economic growth is an increase in an economy's output, and the economic growth rate is the annual percentage change in output. For people to enjoy more goods and services, output has to increase by more than any growth in population. In such a case, GDP per head, per capita, would increase. For many years it was assumed that poverty would be eradicated if countries managed to sustain economic growth. As a result, economic growth was seen as synonymous with economic development. If economies grew, they would also experience development. It was assumed that increased availability of goods and services in an economy would lead to a trickle-down effect that would have an impact upon all, including the poor members of society, in terms of jobs and other economic benefits. In reality, however, economic growth does not result in a rise in the living standards and quality of life of everyone in an economy. It is also possible for a high proportion of people to achieve an improvement in their living standards and quality of life, even if economic growth does not occur if there is, for instance, a more even distribution of income, or a reduction in pollution. As a result, a wider perception of economic development is now accepted that is related to, but distinct from, economic growth. In other words, economic development is the process of improving people's economic well-being and quality of life. Economic growth, in the short run an increase in a country's output, and in the long run an increase in a country's productive potential. Economic development, an increase in welfare and the quality of life. Progress and development, economic growth is perhaps the key measure of progress in an economy. This can be assessed by examining economic data. To assess whether an economy is developing is a more normative judgment.